Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today on Around Kansas, learn all about General Richard B. Myers, the new president of Kansas State University. Then it's the real story behind Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Next, enjoy a poem from our Poet Lariat, Ron Wilson, and we'll end with an Around Kansas look at gift giving and gift wrapping, a story you'll only see here. Stay with us. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road. Well, a good early Wednesday morning. I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And this is Around Kansas. And, well, we're in the middle of Kansas, I guess. No, actually, where we are is we're in the rotunda of the Capitol and the Capitol. And you can see the Christmas tree behind us here today.
Isn't it beautiful?
It is.
In the middle of our newly restored Capitol building, the State House, and it is magnificent. And this is a great time of year to come see it. Not a lot going on right now, so it's pretty calm. Yeah. You know, silent night and all that stuff. It would apply right now. After the first of the year, not so much. Not so much. But
and if you hear strange noises when we're doing this, it's not ghosts. It's just that there are a lot of tours that come through here. It echoes a lot, so there may be some ambient sound.
And there are people actually working in the State House, Frank. Remember? Yeah, there are people who actually. So we're told there are actually people who work here. Actually, some of my good friends work upstairs in the library, and so yeah, good things happening here.
Okay.
So we're going to have a fun show today. We're going to this weekend, next week, we got a lot of fun Christmas stuff for you, and I know you're all thrilled that it's the holidays, and I am adamant, Frank, that people. Not get so stressed out about the holidays. It's so hard not to get stressed. It really is. There's so many demands on your time, but you know, try to take a breath and enjoy it. And if everything's not perfect, it's okay. If everything, you know, if we don't get it all done by whatever, you know, there used to be, you know, the song, The 12 Days of Christmas? Well, where I grew up back in the hills, people, my granny's generation, were still celebrating the 12 days of Christmas.
Really?
And they didn't have a lot of money, and what they did was have a party every night. So for the 12 days of Christmas, they would go from house to house having a square dance, a meal and a square dance every night. And it was in the middle of the winter, so harvest was done, you know, it's kind of a slow time for farmers. So that's what they did, and I think that's wonderful. I love that idea of just, and so Christmas is not this hard deadline where we got to get everything done. Shoot, we'll just party into the new year.
Yeah.
We don't get it done tonight, we'll do it tomorrow night.
I just remember as a kid, you know, in grade school and all that, we always had the little Christmas plays and the Christmas music and the whole thing, and you know, we'd line up and put on our little robes and march over and sing songs.
I bet you were so cute, Frank. Do you have any pictures of that?
I know. I think I burned them years ago.
Darn it. We'd pay money to see that, wouldn't we? A little Frankie dressed up. Don't you like the illustrations I've got on Facebook, Frank, for you and me? Our little cartoon selves that Patty King does, and then I find these little vintage Christmas cards, little boys and girls doing Christmassy things, and there's Frank and me all cute, rosy-cheeked and fake, you know, the fake us.
So anyway, well, we have a lot of stories for you today, and so our director is saying rap. So
is that what he's doing? I can't see.
Yeah, I think so. So we'll be back.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Lecompton. The name was splashed across newspapers throughout America and Europe. It was debated in the halls of Congress. Lecompton interprets its unique territorial history with 2 museums and other sites. Events throughout the year celebrate history and community. Visit the Territorial Capitol Museum, where more than 70 trees are displayed with thousands of antique and vintage ornaments, and be sure to stop in the gift shops in both Lecompton museums. Spend the day in historic Lecompton, shopping, eating, savoring the rich history.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. And here we are again. So this is Around Kansas, by the way. I'm Frank, she's Deb, and you're not. No, we're not doing Saturday.
Aren't you grateful?
Went to Saturday Night Live there, sorry.
Oh, those were the days. Chevy Chase reading the news.
Yeah.
The best commentator since Walter Cronkite. You know, Chevy Chase doing the news. It was priceless.
Generalissimo Franco is still dead.
I love that. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. All right.
Anyway.
One of my favorite Kansans, General Richard Myers, has come back to Kansas, thank goodness. And I consider General Myers a dear friend, and he's somebody that I admire so much. And when I wrote the book on the Civil War in Kansas, I asked General Myers if he would write the foreword. And I sent him the manuscript, but he had just published an article in the Topeka Capital Journal, The Spirit of Kansas. They had asked different people to write something about their feelings. And so his being a military man, of course, he wrote about the military history of Kansas, and it was just a brilliant, brilliant article. And I said, you know, you don't have to write anything new. Take that article you wrote for the Capital Journal, change a couple of words. You don't even have to read the manuscript. I mean, you know, nothing. Frank, this is the kind of man General Myers is. He read the manuscript. He actually read the manuscript.
Oh my.
I know. He had just flown in, his daughter was telling me, he had just flown in from Europe, and my deadline with the publisher was right at the hard deadline to get it in. And he was on the tarmac in D.C., and he's writing the intro to the book sitting there, but he actually refers to things in the book, so I know he read it. God bless him.
Now, of course, we're talking about the same General Myers who is going to be the new president at Kansas State University.
Is that cool or what?
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Retired U.S. Air Force General Richard B. Myers was selected as interim president for Kansas State University in April 2016 by the Kansas Board of Regents. On November 15th, the Board of Regents officially named Myers the 14th university president. Myers is chairman of the Kansas State University Foundation Board of Trustees and a foundation professor of military history and leadership. He and his wife, Mary Jo, serve as co-chairs of the Innovation and Inspiration Campaign. Born and raised in Merriam, Kansas, Myers received his bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Kansas State University in 1965 and a master's degree in business administration from Auburn University in 1977. General Myers joined the Air Force in 1965 through the ROTC program at Kansas State University, after which he entered pilot training at Vance Air Force Base. A command pilot, he has more than 4,100 flying hours, primarily in the F-4, F-15, and F-16, including 600 combat hours in the F-4. The general has attended the Air Command and Staff College at Maxwell Air Force Base, Alabama, the U.S. Army War College at Carlisle Barracks, Pennsylvania, and the Program for Senior Executives in National and International Security at Harvard University's John F. Kennedy School of Government. He received the Presidential Medal of Freedom on November 9, 2005. He is a retired 4-star general in the U.S. Air Force and served as the 15th chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff from 2001 to 2005. As chairman, Myers was the highest-ranking uniformed officer of U.S. military forces and served as the principal military advisor to the President, Secretary of Defense, and National Security Council. The university's General Richard B. Myers Hall, home to the Army ROTC and Air Force ROTC programs, is named in his honor. Myers presented the 118th Landon Lecture at K-State in 2000. General Myers was described as having a firm and steady hand, a quality reflecting his Kansas roots. We at Ag AM and around Kansas could not be more thrilled that he is bringing his talent, experience, and values back to serve the students of the Sunflower State. Welcome home, General.
Buffalo Bill Cody earned his legendary title in Oakley. Bring the family and come celebrate Oakley's pioneering history and unique geography at two sites, the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center and the Fick Fossil Museum. Cody's statue marks his achievements and welcomes visitors to the Cultural Center. The Fick Fossil Museum houses world-class fossils and artifacts. You'll find Oakley at the hub of U.S. Highways 83 and 40 and I-70. Stop for the legend. Stay for the day. Discover Oakley.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Well, we've got the perfect story for Frank because this is about a fellow advertising genius, another advertising genius besides Frank. This is I tell you, we all have our favorite Christmas shows. Rudolph is mine. You know, I know it's Christmas when Rudolph comes on TV. So this is about this advertising connection to Rudolph. And I'm sure before you researched this story, you were familiar with the elements of the story.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was, I'm not going to get ahead of the story, but Montgomery Ward, way back when
there were catalogs and people got catalogs, remember that, people?
But they wanted an unusual advertising gimmick for Christmas, so they gave it to the person who eventually wrote Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
And, you know, I remember hearing, and I don't think that this is in the story, and I think that this is true. Well, Google that stuff, you know. And but when Gene Autry recorded Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the song, his record company, well, a lot of record companies didn't want to touch it.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it either.
And he didn't want to do it, but his wife liked it. And so you keep Mama happy. So to keep his wife happy, he actually recorded the song. And of course, it became, I think, one of the best-selling Christmas songs of all time. And
well, next to White Christmas.
Of course. Written by Irving Berlin, and who was Jewish. And, you know, White Christmas, when he wrote that song, it was like he thought of it as a gift to America. Just a,
and Bing Crosby didn't want to do it either. And then it became his biggest hit. Anyway, let's see about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. For the real story behind Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, we turn to factcheckersnopes.com. Rudolph came to life in 1939 when the Chicago-based Montgomery Ward Company asked copywriter Robert L. May, who had a penchant for children's stories and limericks, to come up with a Christmas story they could give away in booklet form. Drawing in part on the tale of the ugly duckling and his own background, he was often taunted as a child for being shy, small, and slight. May settled on the idea of an underdog ostracized by the reindeer community because of his physical abnormality, a glowing red nose. He wrote Rudolph's story in verse as a series of rhyming couplets, testing it out on his 4-year-old daughter, Barbara, who was thrilled with Rudolph's story. However, May's boss was worried that a story featuring a red nose An image associated with drinking and drunkards was unsuitable for a Christmas tale. May responded by taking a friend from the company's art department to the Lincoln Park Zoo to sketch some deer. The illustrations of a red-nosed reindeer overcame the hesitancy of May's superiors, and the Rudolph story was approved. Montgomery Ward distributed 2.4 million copies of the Rudolph booklet in 1939, and millions more throughout the war, despite paper shortages. Since Rudolph had been a work-for-hire project, May received no royalties for his creation. Deeply in debt from the medical bills resulting from his wife's terminal illness, she died about the time May created Rudolph. May persuaded the company's president to turn the copyright over to him in January 1947, and May's financial security was assured. The Rudolph phenomenon really took off when May's brother-in-law, songwriter Johnny Marks, developed the lyrics and melody for Rudolph's song. Mark's musical version was recorded by cowboy crooner Gene Autry in 1949, sold 2 million copies that year, and went on to become one of the best-selling songs of all time, second only to White Christmas. A stop-action television special about Rudolph, narrated by Burl Ives, was first aired in 1964 and remains a popular perennial holiday favorite in the U.S. May died in 1976, comfortable in the life his reindeer creation had provided for him.
I was in an accident where I fell off a roof. I don't know why I started to research stem cells, but I did. And I visited with the doctors. They were excellent. I had my neck done, my shoulders done, section of my back, my hips, my sacrum, my sciatica, and my tailbone. Now I am having better range of motion in my arms and my neck and my back. It was a long road to get there, but I'm so glad that I found them.
Fort Wallace stood on the frontier in the midst of the Plains Indians Wars on a major stage route and rail line. Beside the 1865 stagecoach station, a modern museum with thousands of artifacts tell that story, like the fossil of a 40-foot plesiosaur is suspended from the ceiling. Located on Highway 40 midway between Hayes and Colorado Springs, the Fort Wallace Museum is as welcome a sight today as the fort itself in the 1860s. Discover the fightingest fort in the West. This segment brought to you by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Find out more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Howdy folks, I'm Ron Wilson, Poet Lariat. In the days of the Old West, the cowboys lived by a code, an unspoken set of rules that we called the Code of the West. Cowboys live by what we call the Code of the West, which is drawn from America's westward quest. This code isn't written down in a book of laws, but is taken from the daily life he draws. These are values which the cowboy strives to live by in the many ways that they might apply. For example, it means taking pride in our work and finishing a job we will not shirk. It means being tough but fair, to always keep our word, and to be a good steward of the land and the herd. It means having the courage to take a stand and being loyal when we ride for the brand, to take good care of our tack and our steeds, and to put our animals' care first above our own needs, to be independent and not run from a fight, in short, to always stand up for what's right. Our nation would be better, I will attest, if we all would follow the Code of the West. That'd be true.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, Sure Crop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. Sure Crop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose Sure Crop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to Martha Stewart Living.
I have no idea what I'm doing here.
You know, this is how pathetic men are, because I give Frank this ribbon to to unwrap or whatever you want to call it. And of course, he and Michael don't even know what it is. And see, ribbon is magic. You know that, Frank? Ribbon transforms the lowliest, the most humble gift. You can put a ribbon on it. You put this gold ribbon on it, she's going to think she's got something. You know it? So ribbon is very important.
You know, it's got to be genetic, because I don't know anybody that's a male that can actually wrap a present.
No, me neither. Me neither. And that's why we're here for them, because you don't have to wrap a present.
Good.
Maybe you can just tie a knot. If you can just tie a knot, you know, maybe we can do that. So I love thrift store shopping. So all my family, of course, is suspicious when they get a gift from me. And I found this. Is this not the cutest basket you ever saw?
That is a nice basket.
I paid $3.75 for that at the antique store in Colby. And I was thrilled. It's got the little lid on it and everything. It's woven. It's really pretty. Now, all you got to do is put $1 million in there and tie a gold ribbon on it. You got a nice present.
Yeah, but you know what really saved all of us males is, you know, those little gift bags?
Yes.
There you go. You can put it in there. Put
a little gift bag.
You know,
that's
and then,
exactly right.
And then tie some ribbon around it.
And money fits nicely in a gift bag. Well, and for all you guys, tins. You know, these are great. And again, you can find these at the thrift store for $0.25, you know, between $0.25 and $1. And those are awesome. And I want to look at this little tin I found. I found this at the thrift store in Oakley. And because the ladies put back stuff for me and Dr. Jake.
Oh, no, that's cool.
Is that not the cutest little tin? And look, the wheels on the bus go round and round to get it going too. And then these little things, the little mailbox, you know, these are all over at Christmas time. And is that just not the cutest little gift box you ever saw? Mm-hmm. And we're in the state capitol, which is a state historic site. So they have a beautiful gift shop. And I was just down there visiting with the lady, and I bought a bar of just this wonderful lavender soap made in Kansas. But they have the jewelry that's made from the copper they took off of the Capitol Dome when they restored it. Huh. They've got all these really unique Kansas gifts, and they're wonderful gifts for folks who maybe don't live around here anymore, or maybe friends you have that are out of state and you want to send them something that says Kansas. You've got Kim Hughes, you know, Prairie Glass has some beautiful things down there, a little sunflower. I think there's even wine bottle stoppers, one of my personal favorites, the wine bottle stoppers. Of course, if you don't finish the wine, which, you know, who does that? All right. This is a wonderful book, you know, and I'm all about giving books for Christmas, especially one of mine, like my Kansas Fortune Bases. I got a copy of that around here somewhere. Raising the West, this little gal, Kelsey Stelting, did this book out in Wallace County. And this is interviews she did with the families, the matriarchs, the ladies of the families that grew up there and raised kids. It is a wonderful book. That's out at the Fort Wallace Museum. And then she did this gorgeous calendar of scenes from Wallace County with the little sayings from some of these ladies. It's a beautiful, beautiful gift. And even though this one is in Wallace County, and I encourage you to go out there, all your little county museums have similar things like that. So while you're supporting the small businesses, go support these little county museums and historical societies and things. It's a great time to support them. Take the family for a visit and, you know, do your Christmas shopping while you're there. Now, are these some great ideas or what, Frank?
Yeah, they really are.
They really are. Educational. I've got a Sea Monsters, National Geographic, that's all about the oceans of Kansas, you know, when we were all underwater.
Yeah, we were at one time.
Here is one of my books. Perfect for anybody around the state of Kansas. And then, run out of wrapping paper, old maps, Frank. Just wrap it in an old map, and then you can tell people where to go at the same time while you're wrapping Christmas presents. Pocketbook. I picked this up at the thrift store for $1. Can you believe that? Is this a great country or what? You can get that little thing for $1. Music, Kansas Cowboy, our good friends. This Kansas Cowboy CD is phenomenal. Michael Martin Murphy's new CD, High Stakes. There's just, and they fit perfectly right there, don't they? Yeah. Along with my book.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Frank.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream.